Hey everybody, my name's Allison Watkins from AllisonWatkinsCoaching.com. Really great to be back with another video for you guys, and this is about my tendency of perfectionism and how it is showing up while I build a business. So for those of you that might be catching one of my videos for the first time, I actually have a link below to a video that I shared a little while back on my perfectionism, wanting to be perfect, and that will give you a little bit of context to this conversation. So feel free to look in the description box below and click that link so you can watch my other video. So I told you guys that I would come back and kind of share where I've been on this journey of perfectionism, and what I've learned about myself. And isn't it interesting that I am now in a situation that I want to build a business, and oh, there it is. There's that perfectionism trying to show up. So wanted to really share some things that I've noticed and that I've tried to do in order to minimize the perfectionism. And so some of the things, and two primary things that I wanted to share in regards to building a business, is that the concept for me of perfectionism is really lowering every single time I try something new. Because you really cannot do something to a perfectionist standard or you'd never put it out. Just plain and simple. If I ever thought something was going to be perfect, you would never see videos out there on YouTube for my channel or any content that I posted, because I know for a fact it's not perfect, but it's actually helping me in the process to put content out there. And what I'm calling it is put it out and find out. Where did it land? Was it like a no-go? Did no one respond? So just finding out by doing, instead of thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking that it would, measure up to some standard that I have in my head. So I think trying it is one of the biggest things. And whatever it is for you, it might be, I'm really scared to, do public speaking or something, just giving an example, and I don't want to try until I've perfected it. Well, practice makes perfect, right? So if you're practicing on, public speaking, that will actually help you get to a standard where you're more comfortable. But if in your head you're doing your speech and you never say it out loud in front of people, then you probably won't get there, wherever there is for you. The other thing that I'm really learning is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be shared. And that was actually a quote that I saw from someone else that went to a conference, and it really stuck with me. Perfectionism for me lives up here in my head. And it means that a certain series of things need to happen. And I'm also picturing like this grand outcome, right? And so if what I'm producing doesn't match the grand outcome I have in my head, it means it can't go out. So I'm hoping, like, for some of you that are dealing with perfectionism, you're just like, okay, I understand that. I get that. So, but for me, it's really about simply sharing instead of thinking that something has to be perfect. I'm trying to give you guys some clear examples. So quite honestly, I'm working on being consistent with posting my content, especially on YouTube. And for any of you guys that follow me on a regular basis, you may have noticed that like March till April-ish, I fell off. It was like about a month or more when I posted videos. And during that time, I was telling myself, like, I don't know why I'm doing this anyway. Nobody's really watching. Like, it's not there yet. And so the motivation to actually record and post content, it was really low for me, because I'm going through this mental process that says I'm not doing it right. This isn't helping anybody. And that's just me being very candid. So part of that is thinking like, oh, because it's not perfect, then I can't share. So I'm actually challenging that thought process that says it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be shared. Because the concept of perfection in my head means something else altogether, and it's probably not attainable. So I really am just working on the practice of putting things out there instead of feeling like it has to meet some type of standard. Now, it doesn't mean that I just throw anything out there. I hope you guys see I try to put a little bit of effort into it, but it is still a real struggle for me. So I will continue kind of to share, my journey with perfectionism, how it shows up in my life. Again, I did mention several instances in a previous video, but wanted to give you guys an update on, the real deal and kind of how I'm working through it. But it is a lot more comforting when I, instead of pushing to the perfectionism, I just really try to apply grace. I do my best, I put something out there, and I can just keep building on that muscle to say it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be shared. So hopefully that is helpful to some of you that are maybe dealing at that in that realm, in parenting, in work, in whatever you're trying to build, in your personal development of things that you're trying to accomplish for yourself. Hopefully you will be able to lessen that perfectionism tendency and just increase the practice and some of that grace and self-love. I hope you're following me on Instagram. I will leave that information so you can follow, and I will see you in another imperfect video. I'll talk to you guys later.